So after a tragic bus accident, we lose Cliff and they audition a couple of guys, maybe, I don't know who else they auditioned, but in comes a new guy, Jason Newsted. In 88, they drop And Justice for All, and I think it's fair to say that this is by far them at their most advanced, I'd say. I mean, we have long-ass songs out the wazoo, many over 7 minutes. We got a couple 9-minute songs. I mean, they're just going all out on this album, and they put 150% into it, and it lost to Jethro Tull. So the album itself is just really great. I mean, bad production aside, there is actually zero bass. Even when they remastered it, there's still zero bass. Just go listen to Injustice for Jason. The drums actually sound like their boxes, although it still sounds really good. And overall, it's just very thin sounding, but the songs themselves, honestly, even the one in last place is still just really great. This is Lars at his absolute best. This is James at his absolute best. This is everyone on the top of their game, and really the last time they would be at the top of their game. So starting off my track ranking at number 9 is unfortunately going to be the Frayed Ends of Sanity. Yep, well, I can't please everyone with this list because every one of these songs is going to be someone's favorite song on here. And, as far as Frayed Ends of Sanity goes, it's good. The intro's pretty catchy. I like the main riff. The chorus is good, the lyrics are pretty awesome, and the solo section is pretty great. I don't know, just in an album where everything is just really damn great. This one maybe suffers a bit from being too long, like the next song. There's a lot of instrumental moments, and not all of them are super interesting. So it's just one that suffers from just a little too much. And speaking of, next up is going to be the title track, And Justice for All. Another one that's just probably a little too long. I mean, they even stopped playing it live because I guess audiences just aren't that into it. A lot of repeated parts. I mean, don't get me wrong, the whole verse thing with the hi-hats and the tom, it was pretty fun to play. I played the song a couple times live. The melodies are all pretty good, but especially when you get to that middle slowed down section, it does drag a bit too much, and by the time you get to the third verse, it's the exact same length as the first verse, and it's just like, all right, speed it up a little, let's get this over with. But I do really like the intro, I do really love the outro. It's like a 4-part harmony, it sounds like. Pretty good stuff, but yeah. Like I said, this album is just full of great shit. So it's a little hard to stack them against each other. And with that being said, next up is going to be Dyers Eve. Now, the verses in this song are absolutely out of this world. I mean, I love how he gets more intense as each verse goes on vocally. And Lars is a fucking maniac. I think there's rumors suggesting that it's not even him playing on this song because no one can believe he's actually was this good. But then you look back at Trapped Under Ice and it's like, yeah, no, I can believe it. But yeah, my only problems are the verse riff I don't think is super great and the chorus isn't super great. But yeah, it's really all about the verses in the song, I think. And next up is going to be Harvester of Sorrow, which I don't remember what it did it for, but I actually did a presentation on this song in a class once. It must have been something about songs about evil or bad things. And I presented this song it's about someone killing their baby. This is the whole infanticide line. I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember too much, but... fun fact. But yeah, I love the ba-da-da-ba-da-da-ba-da-da intro and that clean riff that comes in before the verse. I really like that riff. Verse riff is great. Chorus is pretty solid. It's at this point where all these songs, there's not really anything in the song I dislike. It's just how often would I want to listen to them. And yeah, Harvester of Sorrow, while being a pretty fun jam, I just think other songs just have a little more to them. Like up next is Eye of the Beholder, which might be a little higher than some people have it, including the band, because I don't think they like this song. But if you saw my Ride the Lightning video, I mentioned that along with For Whom the Bell Tolls, there was another song that I really like the lyrics to, and it's this one. I don't know, they just really work for me for some reason. It's this song and For Whom the Bell Tolls are my favorite lyrically songs by the band. And yeah, the intro is fun. I mean, it's not super amazing or anything, but it's fun to play. And I like leading into the chorus, how that little pre-chorus riff gets shorter and shorter. That's a pretty neat touch. Yeah, the vocal effect on the verses isn't super great. I mean, I kind of wish it wasn't there to begin with. But yeah, I like all the harmonies at the end, and again, it's the lyrics that really save the song for me. Unlike the next song, which is To Live Is To Die, which has no lyrics. And God, I actually still remember the first time I heard this song, and I remember where I was, like at my parents' old house, in a room that wasn't the room that I was in like the first year of my channel. I was in a different room in a bunk bed, just listening to this song at night, and I remember being so off-put by the spoken poem part, because obviously this is the first time I ever heard it. I didn't know anything about it. I probably didn't even know who Cliff was. So I was like, wow, that's kind of stupid. This could have just been an instrumental song, yet this guy is just like saying some stuff. I didn't know what the hell it was, but now, yeah, it is a very nice poem, and it's cool that Cliff's contributions even extended to this album, even if it's just for this little bit. Seriously, when it gets to the clean part and like the strings like wow, wow, and then that whole section, I think they played that live a couple times. I'm not sure about the whole song in full, but at least that part, great shit, really good stuff there. But I guess it's just that main riff, like the da-na, ba-ba-ba-ma-na-ba-na. I'm not crazy about that or anything, but the chorus riff, I guess if you could call it that, that's pretty solid. And yeah, this is just another banger instrumental from them. It's tough even trying to decide which one is the best one, but this one is definitely a contender. And then we're going to have the album opener with Blackened, and I believe it was Jason who wrote that main riff. Good on you, buddy. He entered the band very well, I think. Even though I do believe the Garage Days thing came out before it, but whatever, I digress. Another song that's pretty solid vocally. The chorus is really great. The whole bridge, when it slows down, I really like that section. The solo is... Really, these top 3 songs are all perfect. None of the riffs are bad. None of it's boring. At this point, for me, it's like, how fun are they to play? And Blackened is a blast to go through. But the other 2, I just simply have pretty much memorized because I like playing them so much. And the runner-up, surprisingly, probably to a lot of people, is going to be One. Yes, it's not my favorite song in the album, although it probably is the best. I mean, what else do you really even need to say about that song? I mean, everything is just flawless, and I always kind of wanted to go back and watch that Johnny Got His Gun movie, but they kind of gave the entire thing away in the fucking music video, so it's like, what's the point even? But yes, this is one of these moments where there's a very clever use of instruments to mimic a sound. Obviously, I'm referring to the Darkness riff, where it's supposed to sound like a machine gun, like going off the drrrr, drrrr. I think that's pretty cool. They do another thing later on that I think is equally as cool, probably even cooler. But yeah, One, it's just a perfect song. But honestly, there is just one song on here that is probably, I mean, no, not probably, it is for sure my favorite song to play by them, period. Yeah, Shortest Straw, man. Every goddamn riff in that song, and Lars especially, I fucking love to play the song on both sides. Just everything, every riff in this song is just a damn blast, and it's probably not the best song on the album, but it is my favorite. Because it's cool to hear, because it's cool to listen to, and it's fun as hell to play. Another one of these instances where I actually just memorized every single fill and shit, and I love it. It's fun as hell to play, and that's all I gotta say. So there you have it. That's my ranking of the tracks. Let me know what you think about the album. What are your favorite songs? Any of these you think is a little underrated, like Frayed Ends, a lot of people say. I think Eye of the Beholder is a little more underrated, but that's just me. And, well, I guess tune in a couple days where, for a lot of people, this is where Metallica dies. But, frankly, I think the change is for the best. Because while I love this side of the band, if they kept doing the same thing, it probably would have got a little tiring. And, well, trying to think of a pun to do. Black. For the next album, Metallica would take metal out from the black of the darkness and move it into the light of mainstream audiences. So, I'll see you next time with that one.